Okay, so we're going to take a look at the Anycubic Wash and Cure version 2. I only actually just picked this up from the front door. I've already sort of just popped open just to make it a bit easier. So we will finish opening it. And as usual, like everything that comes from Anycubic, it seems to be very well wrapped. So we will just slide it out of the box. And then that's what it looks like. So very much in a bag, like I would expect. Now, is this? No. Okay. So that's just one piece. And then we pull that off there. And then that's the bottom piece. Alright, so we'll pull it all out first. There's the base. A little box of goodies, bag, more polystyrene, because we need so much more of it. And then in the actual lid, go through what's in the lid first. So we've got the Wash and Cure 2 user manual. We have more plastic. And we have the tub. So, what do we got in the tub though? Alright, so in the tub, we have another little box. Some shiny film. Lots of polystyrene, so it is very different to the previous basket, that's for sure. So I do have the old one as well. I think it's got stuff in it at the moment. It's got some alcohol in it, but we'll take a quick look at it. So just grab the basket and everything the old one. Okay, so I've just grabbed the old one. I've got a couple of pieces still in there. They were the sample prints from the mono that I did. We don't need the lid right now. So, first things first, old basket, new basket. So, I guess I can just sit it in there. It only seems to go so far. No matter what I do, I can't really, I don't know if I'd really want to force it down, but I would have presumed that that would have stopped it from being able to hit the bottom, but it is quite tight. That doesn't even go close to being in there. So that's the older basket, is actually approximately a bit wider, I think, but because there's these parts here, there's little strips, and then there's the blade down the bottom there, but these strips that are in here stop this old basket going in there, so it is definitely not interchangeable, that's for sure. And then there is a difference in size. I can't bend this one too far because it is full. But yeah, so there is a bit of a size difference. I could probably almost slide that in there. Yeah, look at that. But let's not go too deep because then I won't get it back out. Blade looks still pretty much the same like the other version. It's got weights down the bottom, bearing in there. The only difference is it's not anodized blue. Still says that it's a 3,500 mil max, which is exactly the same millage volume as the version 1. So we'll stick that over there. So we already know what the difference is with the basket, which does make it interesting. So it would have to be narrower then. Yeah. It's quite odd. I don't know why. I'm intrigued now. It's just the shape, just purely by shape. So it's technically, if you have a look, it's the same size, but it's where the way it curves around here, it's the difference, and you can, that's why it allows it to go all the way down, and then those feet stop it from touching the blade. So even if I drop that in there like that and just let it sit, it would be okay, because it's not going to drop onto the blades. So that's alright. So what do we get in this thing? I'm guessing this is probably power. This will be the brick. Yep, look at that. I like the fact that it's one piece. Ooh. And so it's units. I'm guessing for each country comes with a different option. Be like when you get there we go. Get that in there. Like when you get universal power supplies for hard drives and stuff. That's pretty cool. You can just unlock it and remove it, or lock it. So yeah, that's alright. I like the fact that it's just one thing. And what's it? 100 to 240 volts, 50 to 60 hertz, 1 amp max. Output is 12 volt, 3 amp, 36 watt. Yeah, pretty standard. Okay, what about in this box? What do we get in this box? This is probably the plate and all that jazz. So we have, I don't know what that is, but we already know that this is the curing plate, and this is interesting. So the previous version of this was just a flat circle, and in fact I will quickly grab that one. So, as I said, the previous version, this is version 1, and this is version 2. So, it's the same size, but it is thinner, so it's about, I'd say it's about half the thickness of this one. And you can probably see that there. The mounting point is different, as you can see, it's only got 2. Now this one's got more places, so it holds it tighter, I'm presuming. And this one is just a piece of perspex, really. This one has holes in it. So all those little dots are, it's actually not holes, sorry, it's just got little balls on it, like, what do you call it? It's just raised the surface a bit, I guess, so that it doesn't sit flat on this, because you do notice sometimes, and that's where this is, like, so say for example, if I got something like this and I sit it flat, sometimes it does stick and it's a bit annoying. So in this case, because of all those little knobs that go around it, it actually sits just off it like that, that's good. That means that it obviously allows to get under it a bit better. So that's cool. What else do we get? Probably pretty standard, I'd say. Allen keys and all that jazz. But let's take a look. So, the Anycubic QC pass card, the Anycubic after sales service card, Allen keys, and a bearing. Now we shouldn't need any of this, so we're actually just going to chuck it straight back. But that's that. So you don't get any of the other things that we got with the first version. So the first version, we got these mounting options where you could put the plate onto that and away you would go. So with this, we don't get that. And you're not going to be able to fit the whole of the mono X into it anyway. I don't know if that goes there, but it fits, so it's going there for now. So that's interesting, to be honest. What does this thing do? There you go. Oh, okay, so that sort of sits. I don't know, I'm just having a bit of a play now because I can't help myself. but it looks like that sort of just sits there, which means you could, I guess you could probably put the old photon plate maybe and just sit it there. That would be cool. I think that's what that's for. All right, let's actually have a look, shall we? Now that I've taken a guess at everything, let us see what our instructions say. So we've got the wash and cure 2 user manual, service instructions, information, and there we go. So apparently I missed some instructions over here. So product overview. So that's a washing rack and a stainless steel washing basket, the washing bucket, the bearings, the reflector, the curing table, which is here, the power pack, warranty cards, after sale service card, Allen keys, and user manual. Yay, we got everything. There are 2 cases for washing. The printed objects have been removed from the printing platform. 2, the printed objects are on the Photon or Photon S printing platform. Okay, so I'm right. So you can either have it on the platform or off the platform, which is pretty basic. So 2 cases for the printed objects which are on the Photon or Photon S printing platform. Washing basket recommended for the objects with height less than 100 millimeters. So you would chuck it onto this because that there obviously goes right in there, goes all the way down, and then your plate will sit down around about the 200 mark, so about halfway there. Whereas if you use the rack, you can get it to sit up quite a bit higher, because if you put it in that way, or I don't think it would really matter which way you go, that will sit lower than obviously. Then you sit it there, which is now all the way up on the, yeah, it's actually just above the 3,500 mil. That's the 3.5 litre mark. And then put the plate on there, and then away you go. So unlike, as I said, on the version 1, you don't actually mount it to anything. So again, it's still the same, it looks like as the old one. Cure mode, wash mode, blah, 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 blah. So it's exactly the same. There's not a huge amount to do. The one thing that I am wanting to see is if it tells us where to put the, when washing is complete, a beeping sound will indicate it's finished. After the model is washed, it is suggested to air dry the model before proceeding. Okay. Tear off the protective film on one side of the reflector and place the side up on the platform. So, okay, so we actually stick this to it, so let's do that. Mainly because I just like peeling stuff off, so I want to peel it. So it's got like a blue little film on this side. You can see it's nice and shiny there, so there we go. Oh, shiny. And then we'll just stick that there. Okay, so we peeled that off, but it doesn't really do anything, so I'm guessing that maybe, let's try this side. It says to peel it off and stick it there. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, I thought this was going to have like a coppery type side to it, but I guess not. Take both sides off? Wait, I'm going to check this. So it says, on one side of the reflector in place, align the curing table with the hole, place the object on the curing table, cover lid and slide with it. Alright, so we're not going to take off the other side, so I guess that gives us another side to use later on. So it doesn't actually stick there, it just sits there. So it should say place, not stick. The other thing that we're going to go through is the differences here. So overall, really, power at the back, off and on, it's quite light. The lights are obviously different. They're loose, it's not just a straight up sort of strip, and then it doesn't have the mount. So because it doesn't mount onto anything. It doesn't have any extra motors or anything like that. It doesn't go up and down. You just kind of drop it in. And then obviously you've got your selection option here, and then your timer and your control knob over here. And then it has wash and cure 2.0 there. Okay, so what we are going to do is this. So we're going to take this off because I don't think that should be on while we do this. I will put that onto there. So again, it still has that magnetic effect where it sticks down to it, which is good. It looks like there's some stuff in there, so let's get that out. We are going to pour what is in this tub into the other tub. So let's do that, but let's not do it on here. You know what? I'm going to do it right here on the floor where I'm probably not supposed to, but it will be fine. There we go. And there's the inside of the other one. As you can see, it's got a nice blue anodized, and it's got some stuff in it from where I've used it. So we will set that over there. Bring this one up to here. Whoop. Almost making a mess. Okay, so there we go. So that's, did I spill it? No, just making sure. You don't want to let that stuff run anywhere. All right, so we're gonna now over here. I do actually have a print that I haven't even removed from the plate yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that. It was not really a failed print. It's that I more ran out of resin and overnight, and I didn't really refill it. There it is. It looks like it was coming out pretty good, but I am not impressed with some things. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly go wash this off, because as you can see, it hasn't drained fully, and it is all over my hands, and we'll be back in a sec. That's why you wear gloves. Okay, so just quickly gave it a bit of a rinse and have taken it off the build plate. Now, this is the part that I'm interested in. I have a full build. Now let's just say I don't want to take that off the supports. I don't actually have a choice, because the reality of it is this doesn't really fit. So if I was technically to print edge to edge, it won't hold a full-size model of the Photon Mono X, as you can see. That way it will, but not even close. So, if I drop this all the way in, I am restricted with my width because of the basket. So really, if I want to print something supersized to the max, I want to print it to the absolute max of this plate, I'm going edge to edge, edge to edge. No, I am not using the wash and cure. Maybe not even the cure, it won't go as far. So that's not cool. So what we might do is real quickly, I am just going to pause for a second. I think I got another parcel. Okay, so I didn't get another parcel, but the dogs were excited about something. So that's a bit of a shame. Always disappointing when you don't get parcels. So I might just quickly move some of these supports. I do technically cheat, I guess, a little bit as well. I have a spray bottle that I keep with isopropyl alcohol in it that I give things a quick rinse with when I am rinsing them off, just to do this. So I'm not really overly fussed about touching it. Really should still be wearing gloves, but I've never found any interest in, and I wouldn't suggest just giving it a go just to see if it affects your skin or not. I shouldn't be doing it this way, but Well, I am. Alright, so it doesn't really fit that way. And this is a bust that obviously I failed because I ran out of resin, so I can't actually get it in there. Look at that. So no matter what I do, I am not using the wash and cure for this, because there is physically no way that I can get that to go all the way in. So, is there really any point in getting the two? Obviously it is, because even the mono resin printer comes with the same fittings. All the new ones come with this, so you can't actually mount it. So again, you're probably just better off. Yeah, I don't know. I just still don't see the point between the really the one and the two. Okay, yeah, you're going to get a better control, a bit more control over your time and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I'm expecting this to pair with this, and it's not going to. So you've released this huge resin printer, which is great, and then you've gone, yes, we're going to come out with a new wash and cure, but you haven't really taken into account what items you've got. I would expect, generally, if I'm making this, I'm going to make this fit that. So I would have expected it to be in the same size, this to be the same size as that. So I am actually pretty disappointed, because now if I want to print something big, something large, well, hey, cool, go clean it manually. So again, I do have the wash and cure one, and I have found alternate methods to get around it. So for example, all I do is on the photon, for example, it comes with the same option as this, and the thread and the screw size is perfect for the wash and cure one. So I'll just slide that in there and then do it up. Unlike the photon plate, which it's actually screwed into, which I'll probably show you anyway. So on here, as you can see, I do actually still have some stuff on it, because having a few issues after I let my little boy run wild with it. So we're just teaching him what happens when you change certain settings or when you don't have it leveled and so on. So as well, I might as well show you this. So as you can see here, I can sit that in there and I can sit that on top, and we're going to sit it there for a minute. So what I do is I will still use this on my mono, and I actually just take this out of here. So I won't generally be printing at the same time. Well, I wasn't normally, but I could do. But as you can see, it's got a smaller thread than this one. This is quite old machine. And then I will actually just slide that there and then do it all up and have the mono plate suit this. So really my workaround for the Anycubic mono was perfect, and I can use it for the Photon S and the mono. But the Mono X, because of its size, there's no point getting a wash and cure for it unless you're only going to print half your platform, and then you've just wasted X amount of money, because I can't see, from my perspective, I've been able to get some beautiful prints from the Photon and the mono. So I got this because I want large prints. I want to be able to print something to its maximum size. It's got some nice reach, like, but I can't. So it's kind of a bit disappointing because yeah, so I should be able to print, I think it's what, 20 something centimeters. I can't actually remember what the exact size is, to be honest. So we'll just give it a rough measure, but I should be able to pretty much print, don't want to stab that. Yeah, so I should be able to print 25, so say 24 centimeters by at least 12 centimeters by at least 19 centimeters. That's what I would like to do. I'd like to have something that size. Again, no point getting the wash and cure 2. If you're getting this machine, you might as well get the 1 or the 2, or just not buy one at all if you're planning on printing really big, because you're still going to have to clean it manually anyway. Now, on to the next thing. I will sit that over here. Sit that on here. I need to clean that. Now, on to the actual. So, now even if I choose to put something of max volume or max print size or print volume, whatever you would like to call it, oops, putting it around the wrong way, onto this, I am still, it's actually quite a, it's not a perfect fit, but okay. I'm still, again, I'm restricted because where the light is. So let's have a look at what the light throw actually looks like. Let's see how far our throw is, because I don't think it's going to be enough for what we want it for. Okay, so turned it on, and it's still same as the old one. It selects wash first, and then you can change your time for however long you want for, however many minutes, all the way up to 60. I don't know if that's minutes or seconds, I think it is. And then you go cure. And then if I, okay, so the lid's off. So because I take the lid off, I get that beeping sound. And then when you press the knob again, it selects it. So, again, we're restricted by our volume. Because, let's just stop that because that's awfully annoying. Because how are we going to set something that this would be max? So this maximum would have been down here. So as I said, I did run out of resin, and now it looks like it's been in an accident, which is kind of pretty cool, but at the same time, not really. Because it's not what I wanted. But for this purpose, it will do. So, now, if this was at max, it would be front wheel, so it'd be up about another 5-6 centimeters. So on this aspect, it's not even going to spin properly. So I will go like this to try and give it as much room as I can. I will move it over here. So that's as close to that as it can go. So again, even in this situation, a lid that doesn't fit properly because it's bowed in the center parts here. And turn that back on. We will select cure. Don't know if I've selected cure, I can't really see. Okay, so we've selected cure. Selected it for 2 minutes. So if it's anything bigger than that, I'm not really going to get full exposure. And then there we go, see? So it's not even going to let me print at maximum because, well, it's going to hit, isn't it? So, and then either that or it will just slide it around until it falls off. See? There we go. Absolutely pointless. Look at that. So again, there's no point in grabbing a wash and cure if you are only printing with the Mono X, unless you're printing something that is technically half the build plate. Going to print something maximum size. I do not believe that it is viable or even worth the money when you could be spending it on resin or even just getting something else a bit more aftermarket that will do the job that you need. Because really, there isn't a huge amount that's worth it. So this is the older one, which is a bit crappy at the moment. So this is the first version that I've given a fair hard time. So that's got a bit more aluminium to it and stuff. This is complete plastic except for the top, but again, this is still the same. I would have preferred that it had this same top all the way over so that it's not plastic here. I don't like that because on my mono, that's turned to crap. Now, I'm running out of a bit of room here, so let's have a look at the actual, is there any difference in, so this one sits a little bit lower and its lights, I guess, are a little bit higher. So, all in all, I think it's probably going to be the exact same. Looks like it's going to cover the same area. I don't know where I put my handy dandy rule. So the light on this one here, we go from the base up, is about 16.5, and the base up on this one, it is 18.5. So this will give you a little bit more. Yeah, so it'll give you a bit more, but it's not going to give you a full build volume of the Photon Mono X. So all in all, okay, I don't mind a couple of the new features. Like I don't mind, I like the new basket. I like the fact that I can just drop it in there, not have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about mounting or any of that stuff. I like the idea that I can actually just mount the plate on it where I need to. I can supposedly mount it on the basket as well, which I can do, just like that. As long as I'm not printing edge to edge, I guess, because it does cover a couple of mil in. So you've probably got about a 5 mil inside on each side where you can't print to. So again, yeah, I can deal with that, I guess, because you shouldn't really be printing edge to edge. But even if I did print with a 5 mil gap on this, I'm still not going to get it in here. So yeah, okay, it's a good machine. I can't knock it because I use this one, smash this one to be honest with you. It's normally constantly going. I haven't got it at the moment because I am trying to teach my 8-year-old how to print things. I don't let him touch the resin or anything. I do all that side of it, but I like the idea and he's keen to learn, and I'm definitely not going to stop that. Now, let's see what happens when I put this on. So this is one of the other differences, is the fact that it has this shiny piece of film, and I'm interested to see if it actually makes much difference to how it all lights. So I'm guessing that this will just help with the bottom of the curing, which is good because that is a downfall to this, is if it sits flat then it's a bit crappy. So we will change it to cure, just set it for a minute. Yeah, that's interesting. Because the lid doesn't quite sit on it properly, it doesn't like reading. So if I sit the lid where it's meant to be, I can't actually get it on. So it's a bit warped on this part here, but it does, I can see that it's reflecting upwards. So all in all, yeah, I guess I can sort of see, whoop, lid's coming loose. I guess I can sort of see the benefit to that, which is good. Okay, so that's cool. I do like this. I like this change. Oh yeah, and I can use it there. That seems to work. So looks like I can go both ways. I wonder if I can put the other one. I don't know where I put it. Yeah, worry about that one. Which means I can probably put the other one on it because obviously if that will go that way, it should go the other way too. Although I am curious as to where I've put that. I don't have that much room. So yeah, so all in all, I can't knock it. I really like this one. I'd say this is not going to be too much different. Biggest things I don't like, all this plasticness, using isopropyl alcohol. So there's always going to be spillage. There's always going to drop bits here and there. You drop it onto the plastic here, it's going to eat at the plastic. Plastic is not going to like it at all. So I liked the better that this here has the fully covered top, same as this. That's the reason why I don't like the mono, because the mono is practically exactly the same here. And mine, even though I've had 0 spills, haven't touched it with isopropyl alcohol, it is actually deteriorating already. So I would have preferred that they kept with this and had it fully covered on all models. But again, I do like this upgrade. There's more light, seems to cover more of a surface. I like the fact that they put little knobs on the perspex so that it sits things up a little bit and it's not so flat. I do like the way that we're going to drop things into the look at that, it even sits nicely on that one too. I wonder if we can buy an extra one. It'd be interesting to know if you can actually buy them. I do like the fact that I can use this and drop things onto that, or I can use the basket and do the same thing, just drop it in there, and then I can just drop my parts in there and just grab them out, do whatever. That I do like. I do have to admit, so far I agree with the upgrades. I just don't see the point in, if I was buying the mono, yeah, that's great, which I do have, and the photon, so for that it's great. But if I have the Mono X specifically to print large volumes, well, I'm better off going something a little different, something that can obviously hold a bigger volume. So I am actually a bit disappointed that they didn't think about that they didn't cater, or even if they had like a second tub that doesn't have, yeah, I don't know. That is a bit disappointing, and to be honest with you, would be why I don't buy it. That's solely on me. Happy to see what everyone else thinks about it, but based on the fact that it doesn't suit the Mono X, bought this because I want to print big volume, nice detail, and hoped that I could just do some quick turnarounds, which now obviously I'll have to do manually. Which meant that I would have just wasted $200 on the wash and cure that I didn't need. So there we go. So that's my review of the wash and cure. All in all, if you have anything like a Photon Mono, the Photon S, the Photon itself, probably SE, all the smaller versions, yeah, go for it. I do actually like the machine. Again, I would probably stick to my 1.0 rather than my 2.0, and that's just because of my preference, because I prefer this. I prefer that it's covered, that if I spill something on the edge, I don't have to worry about the fact that it's now just killed the plastic or whatever. But yeah, so that's it. That's all I've got for my review. Again, if you like my reviews, please like and follow my channel. I've got so many projects happening at the moment, lots doing. Also like anyone's feedback or what they wouldn't mind seeing or what they wouldn't mind having us having an attempt at, and we'll see what we can do. And yeah, have a good one.